I'm going to come over here to this center line. And again, I have the guide, so it'll snap nicely. Anywhere along this spine, because I want to flip it along that spine, I just need to hold down the Option key or the Alt key and click once, and I get the reflect dialog box. And now it has little pictures. Do I want to reflect it up or down? Let's turn on preview so we can see. That's obviously not what I wanted, right? It has little pictures even to tell me that's what I want. And I want to tell it to copy. So I'm just going to say copy. And now I've got those two lines right there. And I can go ahead and turn off the visibility of my template so I can kind of see. And what I can't see is that those are, butted up against each other. I need to still join those together. We'll do that in a minute. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and grab these two. I just dragged across to select both of them. And I want to zoom in. And I want to go ahead and go up under the Object menu, Path, and Join. And the reason I did that is I just want to make sure that I had one shape that I'm working with. So if I move that out of the way, I can see that that's what that looks like. There's no join, I can't see it. I'm going to undo that so it jumps back. Question?
Good question. What would be the difference between using the rotate tool versus just going up to object and transform, reflecting the image?
Rotate is going to actually rotate it around its axis. I wanted it to actually flip. If I rotate it, it rotates upside down like that. So if you rotate it and flip it, you can work in conjunction that way. But yeah, if I do the rotate, let's actually undo that. Get all the way back to here. If I do the rotate tool, obviously it's going to rotate like that. And if I want to rotate the other direction, or I'm holding on the Option key, if I do that, it's going to go ahead and, well, actually, I see what you're saying. It's actually doing the same thing because it's bringing it up, but it brings up the, actually, let's do the reflect here. So if I do that, and I rotate, it's going to actually rotate it still on its axis. It's going to take it from the left side and rotate it this way. It's not going to be the same as the reflect.
But this tool is the same thing as if you went to the Object menu and went to Transform and then just reflected?
Yes. Oh, yeah. If I did the same thing as if I went to the Transform tool. Yeah, it's the same thing. It's the same tool. Yeah. The only reason that you want to do it from here is that to tell it that it goes from that side instead of one of the corners. You want to make sure that it flips across that axis that's there. And again, like I said, it's Adobe giving you 2 or 3 different ways to do the same thing. Yep, it's the same thing. All right, so let's go back here and let's just Option click on that frame. And I want to go ahead, whoops, let's not rotate it. Let's do the Reflect tool and Option click and copy it across there. And then I want to make sure that I have both of these, Object, Path, and Join. So now I have just one path, and I know that those are joined really nicely together. We're going to do the same thing. Now we're just going to flip it along the other axis. Let's close up our layer panel here. And I'm going to come back to the Reflect tool, and Option click down along this axis here. And we're going to copy that as well. And I'll grab both of those items and also say Join. Right, so now if I close up my template, hide that so we don't see it, and let's actually hide the guides as well. I just want to make sure that everything looks really good there. So I can see that I've got a nice mitered edge, just like as if I had drawn the entire complete path that's there. So I have that item now, and I can go ahead and make sure that this is maybe the color I need or the thickness that I need. Right now I'm just going to leave it exactly as is. And what I want to do is I want to actually create a copy of this, and I want to just bring it inside. Now, you can see that that's not exactly how it fits in here. And you can see that this obviously doesn't fit the exact template that we had, and that's okay. I want mine to look really exactly symmetrical. I'm just using that as a guide. Again, I couldn't have thought about the scallops or any of that stuff, any of the edging on there on my own. So I'm going to take this item, and usually what I do is I just do a copy and paste, right? So Edit, Copy, or Command or Control C. And then I'm going to do a paste in place because I want it to be exactly the same. So now I've got 2 on top of each other and the top one is selected. And then I'm basically just going to go ahead and grab one of my handles and use the Shift and the Command or Shift Option or Shift Alt on a PC and just bring it in a little bit. And there I have my second shape that's here. And again, I can turn off my template to kind of get an idea of what that looks like. Now I don't really like the way it's really close here, so I might just cheat and bring that down ever so slightly. All right, so I might just play with that just to make it a little bit more, just fit a little bit better. So I think that looks pretty good. And of course, I'm going to play with the thickness of the stroke. I don't like how thick that one is. Let's make this 2, and we'll actually make this one 3. All right, but I think I'm on my way to getting that set up exactly how I want.